Live from the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse at Fitchburg High School, FATV presents coverage of the Central Mass Pod 6 semifinals as we continue Rivalry Week, Part 2 here on FATV. And tonight we've got a doubleheader of playoff basketball featuring the two sides of this great rivalry here in North Central Massachusetts. The Fitchburg High Red Raiders and the Leominster High Blue Devils set to do battle in basketball, both girls and boys. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Bolak. Happy to have you along with us here today. Fitchburg coming in 8-1, the number 2 seed in pod number 6, taking on Leominster, who finished the regular season with a record of 5-5. For the Red Raiders, coming off another solid victory to finish this season 8-1, as they were able to take down Narragansett 59-29 on Thursday. Tenila Council 16 points for the Red Raiders. Ilka Negron with 10, Olivia Smith 9, Jen Allen with 8. A 27-12 first half for the Red Raiders put them well on their way to getting their 8th victory of the season, already exceeding their win total from last season. And for Leominster, they struggle a little bit to finish, losing their last 3 games. Of course, their last 2 games were against the number 1 seed in the Quabbin Panthers, lost 44-23 in the game in Barrie, and then their season finale, a 36-17 loss, their worst offensive performance of the season. Isabella Nevard led the charge with 9 points. Sabina Marwa had 5. But then, trails off from there. There's only 3 points left to split around. Juliana Pompey with 2, Shannon Smith with 1. And through 20 minutes of that game, Leominster was only down by 2, 16-14, but then Quabbin turned it on at that point. 20-3, they outscored the Blue Devils in the last 12 minutes of the game. And so Leominster, they've dropped their last 3 games, but they were able to hold on to the number 3 seed. And they've earned a trip here to the Crutchfield Fieldhouse to take on the Red Raiders, who again 8-1, and ended up on the wrong side of a coin flip to get the number 2 seed. That's essentially how they had to break the tie with Quabbin. There wasn't really any other tiebreaker they could use. I mean, when you go 8-1, when you have 2 teams that go 8-1, and then when the head-to-head is split between the 2 teams, you beat everybody else. There's no common opponents since you only played inside the pod. There's nothing else you can do. But still, it leads for a very, very interesting and entertaining night where we're going to see Fitchburg and Leominster do battle both on the girls' side and on the boys' side. It's the Central Mass Pod 6 semifinals here on FATV. We're going to throw it down to public address announcer Craig Antossi with the starting lineups and the anthem.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fitchburg High School and the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse for tonight's Pod 6 playoff basketball matchup featuring the visiting Blue Devils from Leominster High School and our own Fitchburg High School Red Raiders. On behalf of the Fitchburg Public Schools, I would like to take this opportunity to thank FATV for the continued support of Fitchburg athletics by offering live coverage of all of our winter matchups broadcasted live into the homes of our Red Raider community, both local and abroad. And now for tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Blue Devils from Leominster High School. First up, freshman wearing number 25 this evening, Kira Forsberg. Next up, we have a freshman wearing number 44, Juliana Pompey. Now we have a sophomore wearing number 12, Kylie Cudahy. Next up, we have our first of 2 Blue Devil captains this evening, a sophomore wearing number 4, Isabella Nevard. And last but not least, the junior captain wearing number 15, Ava McDonald. Oh. And apparently I made a mistake. Wearing number 3, we have a freshman on the floor, Taylor Boulay. The Blue Devils are led tonight by head coach Rusty Frederick. And now for the starting lineups for our own Red Raiders. Wearing number 4 this evening, a sophomore, Tenila Council. Next up, a sophomore wearing number 25, Jen Allen. Wearing number 35 in the red and gray, a junior, Nevaeh Graham. Wearing number 11 for the Red Raiders, a junior, Olivia Smith. And last but not least for the Red Raiders, a senior wearing number 33, Mia Cavins. The Red Raiders are led tonight by head coach Paul DiGeronimo. At this time, I'd ask anyone in attendance to please rise and remove your caps. Find the flag on our far wall. And we'll honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The game officials for tonight's matchup are Tom McCarthy and Kevin Johnston. Once again, on behalf of the Fitchburg Public Schools, thank everyone for tuning in.
Now just moments away from the beginning of this contest in the 2-3 matchup in pod number 6 in Central Mass, the Fitchburg Red Raiders and the Leominster Blue Devils. Daniel Bolak here with you from high above courtside here at the Grutchfield Fieldhouse. Tenila Council, Olivia Smith, Jen Allen, Mia Cavins, and Nevaeh Graham, the starting five for the Red Raiders. Taylor Boulay, Isabella Nevard, Ava McDonald, Kyra Forsberg, and Juliana Pompey, the starting five for the Blue Devils. You look at the stats coming in to today. Tenila Council leading the Red Raiders in points per game, 11.8. Second in all of pod 6, only Julie Davis and Narragansett with more, 12.6. Isabella Nevard, the leading scorer for the Blue Devils, 7.2 points per game. Red Raiders win this coin toss to start with the ball here in the first half as Cavins bringing that up deep inside the paint, throws it up over the rim it goes, and eventually pinballing out of bounds. It will be Blue Devil basketball. First possession leads to nothing for the Red Raiders. Red Raiders in the home white uniforms, red shorts, silver numbers. They'll go left to right in the first half of play. And Leominster in the dark blue uniforms with white numbering and trim going right to left. And a three ball to open the scoring from Kyra Forsberg. First possession successful for Leominster for the maximum amount. And they'll take an early 3-0 lead 30 seconds in. It's on the left side, a runner to the basket by Olivia Smith does not go. And the rebound eventually corralled by Pompey. And the freshman will bring it up. 5 freshmen on this Leominster roster of 10. A very young team. As Forsberg thinking about another 3, but that's well offline. Eventually out of bounds, cannot be corralled before touching the wrong side of the baseline. It's last off a Red Raider fingertip. So back to the Blue Devils it goes. On the left side, Boulay thinking about something. Now Forsberg around top of the arc for Pompey. Now to the left wing for Forsberg. Pompey, 6 on the shot clock. Goes to the right wing now. And Nevard trying to loft that up. Got nothing but air. Battle for it. Ball out of bounds will be in favor of the Red Raiders. Even if the Blue Devils had gotten it back, they would have only had about a second to shoot. Now Olivia Smith on the far side for the Red Raiders across the midline. Will leave for Tenila Council. Council storming into the paint, scoop shot, gets the hop on the back of the rim and goes. First points of the game for the Red Raiders go to Tenila Council, the sophomore, to make it 3-2 to the Blue Devils. With 1:40 gone in the first quarter of play. Left side, Nevard gonna try the triple. Bounces unkindly off the front of the rim. And now Council bring it up the near side. Looking to the top of the arc. Pass off for Cavins. Now back for Council. Here's Olivia Smith on the right wing. Cavins again. Looking around. Puts a couple dribbles. Now back for Smith. Moving it along, 7 on the shot clock. Allen in the right corner, found no openings to work with. Smith to the right side of the baseline, gotta take a shot. Long two if it goes. In and out it goes, and the rebound pulled in by Pompey. Leominster bringing it up on the right side. And quick passes around to the left side for Nevard into the paint. And thrown up underhand scoop, nothing going there. And the ball out of bounds in favor of the Red Raiders. 5:31 to go in the first quarter. 3-2 to the Blue Devils. The 2-3 matchup. Fitchburg the 2 and Leominster the 3. Here's Council on the right side. Cavins now back for Council. Smith at the top of the key. Floats that for Allen, able to corral it in the right side corner. Closely guarded there by Pompey. Now Council, right elbow runner, goes! A little bit of dramatics up top there. She gets it to fall. She's got the 4 points for the Red Raiders. And the red and gray lead 4-3. As Nevard for Pompey, bounce pass goes off a leg, eventually corralled by a Blue Devil. And getting the runner to go there, putting it off the window is Kyra Forsberg. That makes it 5-4. There's a stretch pass begging to be intercepted. Nearly was by Leominster. Knocked into the bench and eventually pulled in by Rusty Frederick, head coach of the Blue Devils in his 3rd season. Will be an inbound for the Red Raiders. 4:36 to go in the first quarter of play. And that will go off of the body of Nevard. Get a new basketball. 4 basketballs being used in rotation, being regularly sanitized. As Council gets it, distributes off for Jen Allen on the left side of the baseline. She's able to put it up and in. 6-5 the score in favor of the Red Raiders. The basketball got away from everybody. And now Paul DiGeronimo is going to call a timeout here. There was enough confusion on the court as it was. So let's take a proper timeout here. So 6-5 the score in favor of the Red Raiders. 4 points for Tenila Council, 2 for Jen Allen. Kyra Forsberg's got all 5 for the Blue Devils. We look at how these teams do in terms of manufacturing points this year. The Red Raiders averaging 17 field goals a game, about 5 triples a game, and 8.6 free throws made. Leominster, on the other hand, 14 field goals made a game, 3.3 threes made a game, but the free throw shooting has been a struggle for Leominster this year. They've only made 35 free throws. That's less than half of the 77 the Red Raiders have made, and Fitchburg only played 9 games compared to the Blue Devils' 10. But looking at the points per game leaders, Isabella Nevard, 7.2 a game for the Blue Devils. Second is Juliana Pompey and Sabina Marwa. Each of them have scored exactly 52 from 10. And then Kyra Forsberg and Taylor Boulay each under 4, but they're 4th and 5th respectively. And we're gonna have our first foul of the contest here. Contact made there on the far side of the court. Looks like they got Jen Allen on the foul there. So on the inbound, it will go to Nevard. Laura Young into the game, it appears. Unless that's Kylie Cudahy, that's Cudahy. That's a 2, not a 0. Cudahy will have it on the right wing. She'll try to loft a three from there. She will sink it. Kylie Cudahy immediately into the game. Gets the triple to make it 8-6. That pass too high for Jen Allen to pull in. Back to the Blue Devils it goes. 7th-3 of the season for Kylie Cudahy. Comes into the game third on the squad. The team leader, Juliana Pompey, has 8. In comparison, Mia Cavins has 16 triples this season. Just under half of what the Blue Devils have as they turn the ball right back over to the Red Raiders. 3:51 to go in the first quarter of play. 8-6 in favor of Leominster. And that's something I'm wondering if Leominster will be able to keep up throughout the game, is they've got 6 of their 8 points by way of the 3. How well will they be able to continue in regards of long-distance shooting, as it's not really their game. Cavins trying to go inside, having trouble getting a shot off cleanly. Great pressure from Leominster. Cavins blew a tire there as they get the pass out to Cudahy, now back out to Forsberg. Here's Pompey, left side. That pass pulled in by Forsberg, back for Pompey. Passing to try to get the defense to move around a little bit. They're having trouble working with it. Ball on the floor. It's going to be a tie-up. Leominster will retain. We'll have some substitutions here. Annika Hecker into the game for the Red Raiders. Shot clock is going to have to be set back to what it was at 8 seconds. Ball was on the floor, and because of the tie-up, it was never controlled by Fitchburg, so the shot clock does not reset. So 8 seconds the Blue Devils will have to work with. Kyra Forsberg will have the inbound, distributed out to the far side, skips it back to the near for Nevard, throws up a 3, back iron, and Cavins will pull it in. Sabina Marwa coming in on that last round of substitutions for Leominster. As Smith gonna try the triple from there, just a bit too strong. With strong positioning, Pompey able to pull down another rebound, at least 3 this quarter. In transition on the other end, that one won't fall. Marwa underneath, second chance, no good. Third opportunity now for Leominster. Trying to drive in there and force contact is Nevard. She'll be able to do just that and go to the charity stripe. First free throws of the night. With 2:38 to go in the first quarter of play. As Mia Cavins will pick up her first foul of the contest. In and out it goes for Nevard. Sophomore, one of 2 captains on this Leominster side. Ava McDonald, a junior, is the other. 7 free throws made this season for Nevard, make it 8. That's tied for the team lead. She'll have her first point of the night to make it 9-6. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Pass deeply contested there, a foul will be called. Ilka Negron in the paint trying to hold on to that basketball with 3 Blue Devils on her. And so the foul will go against Kylie Cudahy. It'll be her first. Now, quick inbound, jumper is long. Will turn into a pass for Hecker, essentially. She had to run that down on the baseline, just keep that from going out of bounds. 17 to shoot. As Smith, right corner, trying to move it around. Got the bounce pass in. And the shot taken there was rejected by the Blue Devils. Cavins will take a break. Nevaeh Graham will come back in. Shot clock at 11. Matching Olivia Smith's number, she inbounds for Council. An offensive foul away from the play. Foul will be against Ilka Negron. Now 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 9-6, Leominster in front. On the right side, lots of pressure there. That pass up for grabs. Now a stretch pass. Is that too far for Council? It is too far for Council. just trying to hit that fast break transition, and too much oof on the pass. We've seen Council make some incredible saves on balls going out of bounds. Just wasn't able to corral it and get it this time. Now pressure right at the midline. And Leominster, sensing danger, calls timeout with 1:39 to go in the first quarter of play. It's Leominster 9 and Fitchburg 6. So having a look at the rest of how Central Mass Pod 6 is going. Quabbin, the #1 seed, they finished 9-1. They were able to make up their game with Gardner. That got postponed earlier in the season. Fitchburg was not able to do so. The Raiders only got to play Gardner once this season. Leominster finished 5-5 in Pod 6 on the girls' side. Oakmont 4-6, so Oakmont going to Quabbin. That's the 1-4 matchup happening tonight. Narragansett, the 5 seed, and Gardner, the 6 seed, they play each other in the 5th place game. And it's just interesting how on the boys' side, the seeds ended up more or less the same. All 3 of the matchups are exactly the same. The only difference is that Quabbin is going to Oakmont for the boys' semifinal. But everything else ended up going out the same way. The Leominster boys will be playing the late game here at the Grutchfield Fieldhouse. 7 o'clock start expected. And Gardner will be going to Narragansett for the 5th place game. So Leominster will have the inbound with 1:39 to go in the first quarter. They lead 9-6. 5 points for Kyra Forsberg, 3 for Kylie Cudahy, and 1 for Isabella Nevard. For the Raiders, 4 for Tenaya Council, and 2 for Jen Allen. On the right side, Nevard trying to cut her way there, but one extra step in one of those cuts leads to a travel. Back to the Raiders it'll go. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Starting a little slowly tonight, as here is Graham underneath lots of pressure. Could not get a clean shot off. Nevard was down there, one of the players making sure she couldn't get a clean look. Here's Pompey at the top of the key. Left side for Shannon Smith. She'll have it back on the left wing. 15 on the shot clock. More passing for Leominster on the near side. Nevard back up top. 3 ball is offline to the right. Rebound pulled in by Cavins. And Leominster quickly getting back on defense. Setting up in a 2-3. Here's Hecker, right side jumper will go. The freshman Annika Hecker getting her first points of the night. Cuts it to a 1-point deficit, 9-8. Here's Marwa underneath. Pompey puts that up for 2. A freshman responds to the other freshman, Juliana Pompey, with her first points of the contest, 11-8. Leominster in front. There's the bounce pass right side for Nevaeh Graham. That's a travel. An extra step before she put it on the ground. She'll check out. Jen Allen comes back in. And Kyra Forsberg back into the contest, or that's Ava McDonald. Last possession for Leominster. Marwa puts that up. 2 hops, doesn't go. Fitchburg with one more chance. Tenaya Council can't get a good shot off. Try to hit from 25, but it was blocked from there. And that's how the first quarter ends, with Leominster holding an 11-8 lead. Looking back to the 2 meetings this season between Fitchburg and Leominster, Fitchburg won the first meeting in Leominster by a score of 44-18. In that one, Mia Cavins led with 17. Tenaya Council had 11. Olivia Smith had 9. And the Red Raiders were able to hold the Blue Devils off the board for the first 6.5 minutes and ultimately finished the first quarter up 19-2. They had more points in the first quarter than they would need to win the game, as they were able to hold Leominster to just 18 in the contest. That was the first time under Rusty Frederick that Leominster had been held under 20 points. In that contest, Sabina Marwa and Shannon Smith were the leaders for the Blue Devils. They each were held to just 4. In the other meeting, we had this one here in Fitchburg on January the 28th. That was a 37-27 win for the Red Raiders. Jen Allen had 11, most of those coming in the second quarter. And Tenila Council had 10 for the Raiders, while Juliana Pompey had 8 for the Blue Devils and Isabella Nevard had 6. In that contest, Leominster had a fairly solid lead in the second quarter, but then went on the shooting drought to end all shooting droughts. They went about 15 minutes between points. They were held scoreless in the third quarter, only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter. So that was just a tremendous challenge for Leominster, as they've gone to tremendous cold streaks against this Red Raider team. There have been points where once the Red Raiders get their defense rolling, it becomes very difficult for them to really get anything of note offensively. So Leominster is going to try to play 32 minutes, play their first complete game basically against the Red Raiders, because in both of those games, they've had long stretches of nothingness that's taken them out of the contest. But they showed flashes in that last meeting back on the 28th, in which they showed they can very much hang with this Red Raider team. In fact, it's worth noting the Red Raiders themselves were held to just 2 field goals in the second half of that game against the Blue Devils on the 28th. And an unforced turnover to start, the ball slipping out of the hands. I think that was Natasha Brito who wasn't able to corral that basketball. And so the Blue Devils get the ball right back now as Marwa pass out right side. Nevard underneath Marwa down low, takes a step back to find space, put it up, didn't get it to go, got her own rebound. A second chance will rattle home. Another freshman for the Blue Devils, Sabina Marwa, gets the first points of the second quarter, makes it 13-8. Here's Olivia Smith for the Raiders. Allen just able to pull that one down, finds Smith again, moves right side of the paint, and Allen got the shot off, could not get it to fall. Hecker protects the basketball. Last shot hit the rim, so we do get a fresh 30. Here's Cavins trying to draw contact, did draw contact. They rule it before the shot. So the foul will be given, but no free throws. 56 seconds gone in the second quarter. Tenila Council will come back in. Olivia Smith will inbound from the near side. The ball immediately knocked out of bounds by Kylie Cudahy. Council essentially double teamed on that inbound pass. After some discussion, it should be Cavins inbounding here on the near side. Now they have that all settled. Council will have the inbound again. Top of the arc, tries to get the pass out for Smith, intercepted by Marwa, stepping right in there. Takes it to the rack, but under a lot of pressure, can't get it to fall. Ball last touched by the Red Raiders. And it'll be an inbound on the near side for the Blue Devils. 6:51 to go, 13-8 Red Raiders trailing in this second quarter. On the right side, here's Marwa, right side of the baseline into the paint. 2 players on her. Didn't get the angle she wanted, and she reaches in and contacts the arms of Cavins. Hecker will come out of the game for the Raiders. And a couple substitutions as Nevard and Cudahy will take a break for the Blue Devils. Tenila Council bring it up, middle of the court, finds a bit of space to make her move, splits the 2 defenders. They gave just enough room, and Council up to 6. Now pressing a lot, and they force a turnover. Council all by herself. Even with the pressure, she gets that off and in. Give her 8 now. And the deficit is 1, and now you can see the Raiders starting to press a lot more. They think they've got Leominster staggering a little bit. As here's Taylor Boulay. Pulls that out, 12 on the shot clock, on the volleyball attack line. Now Shannon Smith gonna try the 3 from there. She sinks the 3 from there. Shannon Smith gets on the score sheet with a triple. Third Blue Devil to do that tonight. And it's 16-12. With 5.5 to go in the first half, Allen nearly had that intercepted. Gets it out left wing, 3 ball, just a bit too strong. Gets her own rebound, puts that up, and drew the contact. 2 free throws coming for the Red Raiders. Their first trip to the charity stripe tonight. Shannon Smith with her 5th 3 of the season. On that last possession, Olivia Smith at the free throw line. First free throw, gets nothing but net. Smith on the season, 12 free throws made. That's 3rd on the team. Jen Allen has 14, and Tenila Council has 16. Mia Cavins also on 12. One more for Olivia Smith. Second free throw, front rimmed. So it remains a 1-possession game, 16-13, as it would have had it been made anyway. But now it's a 2-possession game with the 2 made there by Nevard. 18-13 the score. Left side, Smith gets that thrown up off the window and in. Gets her to 3 on the game. 18-15 the score. Blue Devils have led for most of this contest. Here's Forsberg as they get it across the midline. Right side 3 ball is long. Battle for it underneath. And Juliana Pompey gets the finish. It's just a brief opening there as the Raiders committed to the player down low. Pompey able to put that up and in. Here's Nevaeh Graham, has space right side of the baseline. Tried to juke out of the 1 defender coming, but that was enough to take her shot off the mark. And the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by the Red Raiders. Back to the Blue Devils it goes, 20-15 they lead with 4:15 to go in the first half. So here's Boulay, left corner for Nevard. Goes with the scoop, gets it to go. Nevard now up to 5 on the night, 22-15. Left side, Smith, make her way to the left elbow, her shot blocked. Got it back underneath down low. There's 3 Blue Devils trying to take that ball away from her, and they're able to force a tie-up. Leominster has the arrow. They'll retrieve the basketball with 3:49 to go in the first half. Leominster with their largest lead of the night at 7. It's 22-15. I feel like this was about the situation that Fitchburg was in, about the scenario last time they played Leominster at the field house, where from this point on they were able to take control of the contest. But here's another try for 3. That's gonna go. Kyra Forsberg with her 2nd triple of the night. She's got 8. And now it's a double-digit lead for Leominster, 25-15. Long 2 is a bit short and does not get the kind bounce. Boulay ducks out of a running arm. And now here's Pompey. Back for Boulay on the left side into the paint. Throws it up, doesn't get it to go. Cavins with the board. Raiders with just 7 points in this second quarter, only 8 in the first. 3 ball for Cavins, just a bit too strong. And Nevard able to come down with it, but her pass knocked down by Cavins. Moving around to the top of the arc for Council. Cavins, left side, Jen Allen, long jumper is short. And that's going to go out of bounds against Fitchburg. Went off of Blue Devils' fingertips, and although it was corralled by Allen, she had a foot on the baseline. Blue Devils have 7 points in a row. To make it 25-15 with 2:43 to go in the first half. They've hit 4 3-point shots tonight, already above their season average for 3-pointers per game. Going to try for a fifth there, but Pompey well off the mark. It'll be retrieved on the far side, and that ball will be knocked out of bounds by the Blue Devils. Trying to move relentlessly to contest any opportunity they can. Give Mia Cavins all the pressure she can handle, and then some. Under 2.5 to go in the first half. 10-point lead for the Blue Devils. Council for Smith. And now leaves for Cavins, back for Smith. Raiders don't have any threes tonight as Allen underneath tried to go with that shot. And with all that pressure, she wasn't able to get it to fall or get it to the rim, in fact. They've said many times it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. The Red Raiders beat Leominster twice already this season, the 3rd time these two teams have met. Can Leominster flip the script when it matters most? Shot clock down to 8. Marwa moves it around left side, Forsberg. Pompey, left side, 3-ball is blocked. Battling for it underneath. Shot clock will run out before anyone has possession. And so the Red Raiders will have it with 99 seconds to go in the first half. Couple more substitutions. Get some more rested legs back in the contest. Leominster still in the midst of a 7-0 run. The Red Raiders would like to get a couple of threes, still don't have any to call their own in this contest. Leominster has 4 for 12. That's the difference right now. That shot isn't going to go. Negron trying to recover it. Ball's on the floor. They'll give the tie up. Now let the Red Raiders have the ball with 1:14 to go. Officials are going to discuss this. They'll have the substitution made there. Marwell will come out. And McDonald will come back in. Might have been discussing if there should have been a foul called. Ultimately, they called it clean. And now Council going to try the 3 from there. That's a 3 they desperately needed. It's the first triple of the night for the Red Raiders. Tenila Council has 11 of her side's 18 points. And the deficit cut to 7. Breaks that run of 7 in a row. As Kyra Forsberg not able to get that one to go. You're not going to be able to score 7 points on 1 possession. But you can sure set the seeds to start the comeback as Allen can't get that to go. Bounces unkindly on the back of the rim. And the foul called against the Red Raiders. It's just the 4th foul of the first half of play. So we probably will not be seeing any 1-and-1s unless we get some extremely undisciplined play in the last 39 seconds. Ilka Negron will be called with her 2nd foul, I do believe. So trying to figure out the foul situation there, make sure everything's recorded correctly. Now the Blue Devils will make their way up court, down by 7. Here's the Red Raiders down by 7. The Blue Devils up by 7. They've led for most of this contest, including the entire second quarter. 3-ball left side is good. Isabella Nevard getting the triple there to restore the lead to 10. There's another shot right side, that's no good. Graham trying to pull that one in. A lot of people trying to pull that in. Council eventually comes up with it. 3 seconds to shoot. Cavins bounce pass. They've got to get a shot off. They will get a shot off, but it's well strong, well over the rim. And the Blue Devils absolutely pleased with how this second quarter has gone, outscoring the Raiders 17-10 and taking a 10-point lead into the half, 28-18. So looking at the first half scores, Tenila Council with 11 points, Olivia Smith with 3, Jen Allen with 2, and Annika Hecker with 2 for the Raiders as well. For the Blue Devils, Isabella Nevard has 8, Sabina Marwa has 2, Kylie Cudahy has 3, Shannon Smith 3 as well, Juliana Pompey's got 4, but Kyra Forsberg leads the charge with 8. Tied with Nevard there. She was the first to get to 8. I can say she leads the charge there, I think. Or I'm just covering for my misslip of the tongue there. But as we mentioned, Leominster only averaging 3.3 threes per game, and that was a thought that I know I had in my head before this game was if Leominster wanted to be successful, they were going to have to try to hit some shots from long distance. They were going to have to trust themselves to take shots from three-point land and to hit, because Fitchburg plays so well inside the paint, and even when Leominster gets to the free throw line, even if they draw contact going to the rack, the problem is they haven't been terribly good at the free throw line, averaging just 3.5 free throws made per game. Each team has only been to the free throw line once tonight. They've each gone 1 of 2. But the difference right now, Leominster has 5 threes in this contest. Fitchburg only has 1. That one came late there from Tenila Council that was ultimately answered by Nevard. 4 different Blue Devils having hit 3s. Kyra Forsberg's hit 2. And so a 12-point differential there on just 3-point shots alone. And when it's a 10-point lead for the Blue Devils, that's very much what's kept them in this game. The Red Raiders have not had that many looks from long distance themselves. They do average about 5 threes made a game, but they just haven't had as many good looks as they would like. And they're not getting the shots deep inside the paint to fall either. And so the abbreviated halftime, only a couple minutes to really discuss things as the teams go behind the curtains. 100+ feet separating them as they try to figure out how to adjust their game plans. And the Raiders playing their first playoff game since 2008. They trail by 10 points through 1 half of play. Leominster will have the inbound to start this third quarter, leading by 10 points, 28-18. Daniel Bolak here with you here on FATV. We'll have both games of these Pod 6 semifinals, girls and boys basketball between Fitchburg and Leominster. As here's Pompey, top of the paint, right side, Boulay. Bounce pass down low, travel before she put it up. Although it goes, the points will not be awarded. The Red Raiders now with their first possession of the second half of play and trailing by 10 points. We'll see what tactics may have changed there. There's a high 3 there that doesn't go for Council. Ultimately, the Blue Devils able to pull that down. First possession unsuccessful for both sides. Goulet, top of the arc, has that knocked away. Olivia Smith got her arms up. Council trying to take it all the way. She had 11 in the first. Couldn't get 2 more there. The Red Raiders will retain the basketball as it pinballs its way out of bounds. "11 of the 18 points in the first half of the Red Raiders coming from the sophomore wearing number 4 in Tenila Council. Cavins gets the quick catch, puts it up, rattles around, does not fall, but an offensive rebound for the red and gray. Get to try again. Cavins still looking for her first points of the contest. It's a great look. Just didn't get the rim luck there. Isabella Nevard with the intercept, brings it all the way down, and Council able to come back there and come up with the block. No points come easily here. Just because you've got a fast break, you've got to finish there, but still, Tenila Council able to come back and at the last second able to get her hand on the basketball to knock that away. Looked like a volleyball set in a sense. Eventually found its way to a Blue Devil on the baseline, but heavily defended. And she's not able to distribute the basketball without traveling. That was McDonald down low. Red Raiders will have it back. 6:35 to go in the third quarter, 28-18 in favor of the red and gray, and a collision going for the basketball there. Just 2 players colliding there in Nevard and Olivia Smith. So Nevard picks up the foul there. Red Raiders will have a fresh 30 and inbound from the midline. For the junior and Olivia Smith, gets it in for Cavins. Lone senior playing in this contest today. She has it back for Council on the left side. Pass tipped in the air, caught by Allen. Tries to get it back to the top of the arc, but splits the 2 defenders. And on the other hand, the backhand layup in transition. Nevard not able to get that to fall. As I've said, nothing comes for free here. And that pass stolen away by Nevard. The 2 teams really struggling to keep possession. Leominster, though, with a brief reprise, able to get a shot off from Nevard that misses the mark wildly enough that it catches nothing and goes out of bounds. 5:51 to go in the third quarter. 18 for the Red Raiders, 28 for the Blue Devils. No points scored in this third quarter thus far. Council on the left side for Smith. Pops that up for Graham. Back for Smith, left side. Marwell right on her. Cavins onto the right side. And Council looking to create some space. Pulls it back on the right side. And now Cavins. Hecker. Left side. There is some space for Nevaeh Graham to shoot. Doesn't get the bounce on the rim. And it falls into the hands of Juliana Pompey. Still looking for the first points of this quarter. Pompey's found them. Puts that up and in. She's got 6 now. And the lead a dozen for the Blue Devils, 30-18. A long run for the Blue Devils. To help stretch this lead out, Smith try to cut into that with a 3 of her own. Doubles her score to 6 on the night. First points of the second half for the Red Raiders. And the deficit for the red and gray is 9, 30-21. Underneath, off the glass, off the rim, nothing. Second chance, wrestled out of bounds in favor of the Blue Devils. Smith and Negron will exchange places. Negron back into the contest. The 2 juniors. And now here's Kylie Cudahy. Right side, Forsberg. Triple is good! That's the 3rd triple of the night for Kyra Forsberg. And just like the last triple the Raiders hit, the Blue Devils able to respond with a 3 of their own to make it 33-21. And underneath, Nevaeh Graham's going to get the finish after Council was able to steal it away. Graham with her first points of the contest. It's back to a 10-point game, 33-23. Cavins coming up with a steal. Council underneath, up and no! 2 hops of the rim, it does not go, and that's stolen away as well by Annika Hecker. 3 ball with the time to shoot is short. Council trying to get her own board, and she's going to end up with it in the end. With 2 Blue Devils closest to the ball, looked like they surely were going to get there first. But Council able to pick it up on the right wing. Now Cavins trying to draw contact, none given. Hecker trying to save it, she will! What a crazy possession this is. 10 on the shot clock. Now it's lost for a moment. Negron on the floor, retrieved by the Red Raiders. And finally we get a whistle here. A whole lot of everything happening there. And ultimately that ended in a foul. And with all that, I think we need a timeout. 3:24 to go, third quarter. 23 for the Red Raiders, 33 for the Blue Devils. I want to thank our fine crew working this game and the next game for you here on FATV. Matt Murdoch and Travis Falk on camera tonight, and Nate Glennie back in the control room, giving you all the pretty images. Also want to give a shout out to Todd and Kate Robbins calling the game for Rivalry Family Media. Happy to let them borrow our video for the contest. And they've got the call on the Leominster side. We've got the call here on the Fitchburg side. And of course, it's one of those games that's so significant. You've got to have announcers on both sides here. So now after the timeout, we look at the scoring in this frame. It's 5 apiece, each team with a 2 and a 3. So we mentioned for the Red Raiders, the last time they made the playoffs was 2008. To think last year there was a point where they were 1 and 9, and then they were able to turn it on in the second half of the season. Just after the calendar flipped from 2019 to 2020, they were able to win 6 of their last 10 games to finish 7-13, which was one of their best records in several years. But this year, they've just been able to take advantage of pod play and really get things working for them. Only loss they've had was to Quabbin at Quabbin. They were able to beat the Panthers here and able to dispatch everybody else in the pod twice except for Gardner. They only got 1 chance to play the Wildcats and take them down. Didn't get the return game here at the Fieldhouse, but it's been a very successful season for the Red Raiders. They would prefer it not to end here today, though. Mia Cavins at the top of the arc, finds some space in the paint, draws the contact. These teams have been fairly disciplined in this contest. Only the 3rd foul against Leominster. As Cavins will have 2 free throws. First one is good. She gets herself on the board with that one. Cavins, as we mentioned, 12 free throws made this season. 8.2 points per game on the team is second as well. Second free throw. Takes 2 hops, front and back, but it will fall. 25 for the Red Raiders, 33 for the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils a 12-3 run to get them a big lead. The Raiders just starting to cut into this, and they're able to force a double dribble. And so the Red Raiders will get the ball back. As Marwa and Smith will take a break for the Blue Devils and Red Raiders respectively. Here is Council, now for Abby Stone. Back for Council on the right side, Graham. There's a 3-ball look there, back iron for Ilka Negron. Just a bit too strong there. Rebound taken in by Pompey. Pace had several rebounds tonight. That's really been helping the Blue Devils. As Boulay down low, got it off the window, off the rim, nothing more than that. Annika Hecker will come down with the rebound. 2:17 to go, third quarter, 33-25, Blue Devils in front. They've been leading ever since late in the first quarter. Here's Stone, gets a look, the jumper, a bit too strong. Blue Devils had a bit of trouble there, and Stone misread it a little bit, could have come up with the steal. On the other end, that shot ends up going out of bounds. Nothing but air on the rush shot from the left elbow. Raiders will have it back. 1:57 to go in the third quarter. Raiders with 8 in the first and 10 in the second, currently on 7 in the third. Want to keep improving. And now 3-ball left side, a bit offline, but Nevaeh Graham able to pull that in, tries to get that up. All ball. The rejection made by the Blue Devils. And back to the Red Raiders. It will go with 27 on the shot clock. 102 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Council, able to loft that up, doesn't go. Second one, can't climb the ladder. Third chance for Negron. And so they will not award continuation on that. The point's not given. But it will be foul number 4 against Leominster in this third quarter. Smith comes back in for the Raiders, and will find Negron. Now Council had space to shoot the 3-ball, rushed just enough. It's a bit offline, but another offensive rebound for the Red Raiders. Council again on the left side. It's Boulay trying to move with her. Negron left side. Nice move by Council, try to shake off Boulay, but she was able to come back there and come up with the block. Now Cudahy trying to break, rejected by the backboard, but there was contact coming from behind there by Smith, and she's going to be called with the foul. That's the first foul of the second half against Fitchburg, and it will result in free throws for Kylie Cudahy. Has 3 points coming into this trip to the line. First free throw is no good. Took a couple hops on the rim with the high arcing delivery. Cudahy with 4 free throws made this season for Leominster. As we mentioned, they've struggled so much from the charity stripe, that does qualify for 5th. One more free throw for Cudahy. That's not going to go either, and it's not going to matter that it didn't go, because the Red Raiders encroached on the lane early. So she's been awarded a second chance at her second free throw. Doesn't get that to go either, but an offensive rebound by Nevard. That doesn't go either, but a third chance. That does go. And so that cost them not 1, but 2 points. Ava McDonald able to get that finish there for the Blue Devils. And a 3 from the right side doesn't go. Tips for the board, comes in favor of Leominster. And a player slow to get up on the other end. Lots of pressure there. And they're going to stop play for the injured Red Raider back on the other side of the court. With 32.2 to go in the third quarter, 35-25 to the Blue Devils. Ilka Negron ultimately was the injured Red Raider back there. There's Alan Toomley out to check with her. Make sure that she's okay. These two teams have been balanced in this third quarter, each with 7 points. Now Paul DiGeronimo, the fifth-year head coach, out to check on Negron. Craig Antossi also out there. Checking on the left foot in that vicinity. She's back up on her feet. And applause from everyone on the court as she'll make her way back to the scorer's table. And head back to her seat. The Blue Devils will retain the basketball with 32.2 to go in the third quarter. 2.2 second difference between game and shot clock. We'll see if that ends up mattering, as here's Cudahy at the top of the arc. Set out for Pompey. Pass tipped, but finds Boulay. 12 on the shot clock, another tipped pass. Boulay able to recover it at the midline in front of the scorer's table. Left side hooked up there. It hangs forever, doesn't go. Second chance for Cudahy, nothing there. And a foul behind the play. And now Ava McDonald down on the court. Might have rolled something herself there. Now Toomley and Craig Antossi out to help her for the second time in 30 seconds. And Rusty Frederick there to check on her player, on his player as well, and Ava McDonald, junior center. One of two captains on this Blue Devil squad, with Laura Young and Chloe Tresaloni. So now we've seen both Ava McDonald and Ilka Negron each go down on the court with injuries to the feet, ankle area, and she's helped off here. Again, we hope that she'll be all right as well. She's able to make her way back to her seat on the bench where she'll get further attention. So Fitchburg will have 2.6 seconds to work with. Going to have to go for that home run pass. Cavan's able to come up with it. Lost the handle. Probably felt there should have been contact there, but none given. And that brings us to three-quarter time at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. The Red Raiders ultimately unable to make a dent in the 10-point lead for the Blue Devils. 7-7 the score in the third quarter, and the deficit remains 10 for Fitchburg, 35-25. We've mentioned this is Rivalry Week Part 2. Here we had ice hockey between Fitchburg, Monty Tech, and Leominster on Monday, that game ending in a 4-4 tie. And here we have the girls' basketball game between the Red Raiders and Blue Devils in the Pod 6 semifinals. Winner will get the winner of Quabbin and Oakmont in the other game, that being played at Quabbin. Then at 7 o'clock, we'll have the boys' basketball game between the Red Raiders and Blue Devils. Likewise, in that one, the winner of that game will get the winner of Oakmont and Quabbin. And then you think, well, that would be the end of this rivalry week, right? But not so fast. We have one more game, actually. Fitchburg, Monty Tech, and Leominster looked at the result of Monday's game and thought to themselves they couldn't just leave it at that after how that game ended. So they've agreed to play one more time. And that game will be tomorrow. You're going to have to go to bed really early tonight, though, if you want to wake up and watch that game live, because puck drop is scheduled for 9 a.m., which is easily going to be the earliest that I've ever seen a game start in my 10 years of broadcasting sports here in North County. I've done 10 a.m. games during my time at Fitchburg State, Never a 9 a.m. game. That will be interesting to say the least. I know I'm going to have to go to bed a little earlier than I normally do. Fitchburg will have the ball to start this fourth quarter. Again, trailing by 10. As Allen, Graham, jumper from the free throw line. That does not go. Ball on the floor. And Nevard able to come up with it, and contact drawn as Allen and Graham trying to force a turnover from there. But contact made. That'll be the second foul against the Red Raiders in this second half of play. Several fouls to give, but doesn't make things any easier. So here's Nevard right side, draws the contact there on Cavins. And 2 more free throws to be awarded to Isabella Nevard. 8 points in the first half. First free throw, no good for Nevard. She'll have 1 more here with the lane populated. Nevard 1 for 3 at the charity stripe tonight. And it's a lane violation. This time it goes against the Blue Devils. The last time it went against the Red Raiders, and they were able to turn that missed free throw awarded on the lane violation into a 2. This time the error on the other end, and the Red Raiders trying to cut into the deficit. Tenila Council drawing contact on the shot on the right side. They will give continuation here, and it's going to be 2 free throws for Council. Team high 11 points tonight for the sophomore wearing number 4 in silver. First free throw, no good. Now the players come into the lane for this second free throw. Council 16 from the charity stripe this season, leads the team. 1 more coming here. Try to make it a single-digit deficit, and she does not get the rim. So it goes back to the Blue Devils and a travel. That was an awkward catch there, and her feet were set, so what turns into the pivot foot moves to force a travel. Sabina Marwa comes back in for Taylor Boulay on the Leominster side. 7:14 to go in the game. The Red Raiders trail by 10. Trying to come up with a big comeback here. Council, 3 ball. Off the glass, front rim and out. Nevard comes up with the rebound. Pompey, back for Nevard on the left side. The Blue Devils looking for their first win over Fitchburg this season. Trying to snap a 3-game losing streak against the Red Raiders. On the right side, that thrown off the window, misses the rim, rebound pulled in by Cavins. Here's Smith, left side. 3, if it goes, it goes! Olivia Smith with her second triple of the night. 35-28. The last 2 times that the Red Raiders sunk a 3, Leominster was able to retort with a 3 of their own. Will they be able to keep that streak alive? Here's Cudahy. Now for Marwa. Nevard. Bounce pass down low, goes off of Hecker and out of bounds. Leominster retains with 12 on the shot clock. Inbound to the near side, Kyra Forsberg. Try to bring it back in play, what have we? The electronic whistle blew when it wasn't supposed to. But now Leominster not at all aware of the shot clock. They only had 12 seconds to work with. And they thought they had a fresh 30 there. They did not. Never even a look at a shot, but it did successfully waste 30 seconds. And Leominster holding that lead of 7. That's a small victory to take out of that possession. Here's Hecker down low. That will go. Annika Hecker up to 4 on the night, and the deficit is 5, and Fitchburg has stolen the basketball. And they've drawn a foul. And that's the 7th foul against Leominster in this second half. So Olivia Smith will go to the free throw line. Looking at least at the boys' side. Thinking about how on January 28th, when the girls won here 37-27, front half doesn't go. Marwa comes up with a rebound. A significant miss there. Prevents the Red Raiders from having a chance to cut the deficit to 3. Able to survive the possession as Nevard unable to get that to go. Ball on the floor, and a travel is indicated. But the whistle comes so late. The Red Raiders already had the ball well away from the whole scrum. It's hard to say who the travel was on, but I guess it is against Fitchburg after all. So when the Red Raiders were winning 37-27 on January the 28th, at the boys' game, Leominster was down by 14 points at one point with 6.5 to go, and they were able to cut the deficit to as little as 2. Weren't able to get the basket at the buzzer to win it, but the Red Raiders have their own chance to respond, cutting back into the deficit, down to 5, and 2 free throws to be awarded to Tenaya Council. On the foul against Juliana Pompey. Council back at the line, first free throw, too strong. Snake bit at the charity stripe right now is Council. Oh for 3 at the free throw line tonight. Try to cut the deficit to 4 here. Gets it this time. Up to 12 points in the game. And the Red Raiders will call a timeout with 5:04 to go in the contest. It's 35 for Leominster, 31 for Fitchburg. Lots of excitement here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. I can tell you at least everyone on pins and needles up here on the balcony. Got Matt Murdocka and Travis Falk, our camera operators, to my right. Further down the line, Todd and Kate Robbins calling the game for Rivalry Family Media. And to my left, the boys basketball team for Fitchburg High School, watching this game with bated breath, reacting to every play, wanting to root their side on, as the Red Raiders, cutting into this deficit, was 10 at the start of this fourth quarter, now down to 4. And you can see the whole setup we have here up top, here on the balcony at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. The sights that you get to see. It's kind of what it looks like up here, if you want to have an idea. So the Red Raiders, they trail by 4 points, 35-31. Tenaya Council with a team high 12 for the Raiders. Olivia Smith's got 9 for the Red and Gray. Kyra Forsberg has 11 for the Blue Devils, and 8 for Isabella Nevard, 6 for Juliana Pompey as well. Red Raiders have had all 6 points in this fourth quarter. And you see at the top of the screen, 3 fouls for Fitchburg, but 8 for Leominster. And that's something that the Red Raiders can very much take advantage of if they can hit their free throws by forcing fouls down low, drawing contact. Because anytime Leominster commits a non-offensive foul, it's going to be free throws for the Red and Gray. And a maximum of 1-1-1 left for Fitchburg in this contest. The left side, Forsberg trying to drive the baseline. That pass intercepted by Mia Cavins. On the right side of the baseline, she's able to reach out and take that one away. Right side thrown in. Graham finds Hecker down low. doesn't get the finish. Second chance will go. 6 for Annika Hecker. 8 in a row for the Red Raiders. The deficit is 2 with 4:25 to go. The Red Raiders have trailed for most of this contest, have had brief leads in the first. 8 in a row has cut deeply into the deficit. Nevard trying to get contact. That hung on the rim forever. Did not fall. Last out of bounds off the fingertips of a basketball player wearing white and red and silver. And it'll remain with the Blue Devils. And a quick catch, turn, shoot, 3 ball is good. A big 3 there. Chloe Tresaloni gets the triple there. The first points of the fourth quarter for the Blue Devils, and a foul against Leominster on the shot. It's 2 shots the rest of the way on the shooting foul. And Olivia Smith at the free throw line. First free throw is good for Smith. That gets her to 10 on the night. And now the players come back onto the lane with 3:57 to go. A make here from the charity stripe makes it a 1-possession game again. And it'll rattle home. Now 11 points for the junior and Olivia Smith. 8 second half points for her as well to make it 38-35. Kylie Cudahy, right side, has some space to work with, goes with the hook, doesn't get it to go. Cavins comes down with the ball. And now Tenila Council. Wonder if the Raiders are thinking about a 3 here. Here's Smith, Allen in the paint. Players on her, Cavins to tie it, is short. And Boulay comes down with the rebound. Brought across the midline, 200 ticks of the clock remaining. 38-35, Leominster in front. Trying to work strategically here, trying to waste some time. The Red Raiders come up with it, and Council not able to get the finish. Underneath, Smith throws it up, heavily contested. That doesn't go, third chance, foul drawn. .303 left, and 2 free throws awarded. Jen Allen at the free throw line. First one, no. One side of the rim and the other, and out it goes. As I mentioned, that's going to be one of the big things for the Red Raiders in this end game. They can take advantage of the fact that every non-offensive foul by Leominster will give them 2 shots at the free throw line. Second free throw, no good as well. Trying to get the offensive board, but Nevard able to win it. Out of the reach of Olivia Smith. And another chance for Leominster to try to make it a 2-possession lead again. Red Raiders looking for a huge defensive stop. Here's Boulay, top of the arc, on the left side for Cudahy. Pressured there by Smith. Now double teamed is Boulay, able to get a pass off Cudahy, fumbles it a little bit, shot clock's run out. The late whistle tells me she did get the shot off in time from 40 feet. It predictably did not catch the rim. The negative for Leominster, no points on that trip down court. The positive, that's 30 seconds gone that the Red Raiders don't get back. 2.5 to work with. They trail by 3, 38-35. Council, left side for Smith. Now on the wing, bounce pass goes off a foot. A well-planted foot, so no kick ball, and Leominster able to take it, bring it down, can't get a finish, and the foul goes against Leominster. The foul against Shannon Smith. Bringing it all the way down, meaning that foul was a loose ball foul. Leominster not in possession. And that, as we mentioned, with the double bonus, that's 2 free throws. First one does not go for Mia Cavins. And I can tell you, looking at my stats, I see a lot more X's on free throws than I see numbers indicating makes. Second free throw doesn't go as well, but Cavins gets her own rebound. But they can have a chance to try to tie it here. Cavins, right side, Graham underneath, threw it over the rim. Allen able to corral it, 15 on the shot clock. Council stumbles to the floor, fell cleanly, they rule, and Forsberg able to take it up, and Leominster able to take a breath. They still lead by 3, now 100 ticks of the clock remaining. Pompey down low, drew the contact, and 2 big free throws loom. I think almost every foul against Fitchburg, it's only the 4th foul of this frame, but I think almost all of them, if not all of them, have been shooting fouls. A minute 35 remains, 38 for Leominster, 35 for Fitchburg. The Red Raiders outscoring the Blue Devils 10-3 in this 4th quarter of play. But those missed free throws are starting to loom large. I count 6 makes for the Red Raiders, and I count 9 misses. Might be another one in there that I'm missing as well, but that's been one of the challenges there, and as we mentioned, a big thing for the Blue Devils, their perimeter shooting is very much the reason why they've been able to stay in this game. By that I mean their long distance shooting. They've made 7 threes in this contest. The Red Raiders have only made 3 of their own. And that gap of 4 more threes made than the other team, that's been there for a while. Leominster only made 33 threes in their 10 games this season. They've made 7 tonight. I think that's something they knew coming in. They were going to have to be a little more comfortable taking those long-distance shots to try to keep themselves in the game. And it's been a tremendous factor. For Leominster, they've only been to the line 3 times tonight. They are 1 for 6. They turned one of those misses into a 2, though. They've actually gotten more points on offensive rebounds than on free throws themselves, as Pompey misses that one. As we mentioned, Leominster has struggled with free throws all season long. It's not quite biting them right now. The second one does go for Pompey. Gets her to 7 on the night. It makes it a 2-possession game. 39-35, 90 seconds to work with for the Red Raiders, trailing by 4. Cavins, step back, 3 ball, does not go. Graham underneath, could not climb the ladder. And the Blue Devils come up with it from Forsberg, and a big collision there. As Council trying to dislodge that basketball. Raiders had 2 fouls to give, so they'll burn one there. More than willing to take the risk. Cudahy will have the inbound for Forsberg, immediately fouled. There goes the last foul to give. So Fitchburg probably already going with the quick fouls because, again, we mentioned Leominster struggles at the charity stripe. Only 2 makes tonight, with 6 misses. Try to force a steal or put someone at the line. And they get in for Pompey. And Council will foul right there and then. And we'll have a 1-and-1. Substitutions on both sides. Smith comes back in for the Blue Devils, and Cavan's back in for the Red Raiders. And Morrow will check out. If the Blue Devils can make both free throws, they can extend it back to a 6-point lead. But you missed the first. Fitchburg could very well get the ball right back. The first one rattles through for Pompey. Gets the Blue Devils to 40. That's the nicest result Leominster could get with 69 seconds left. 2 free throws made to make it a full 2-possession game, 41-35. And now, underneath, the Red Raiders trying to get 3 the old-fashioned way. The contact on Nevaeh Graham. The basket not made. She'll have to get the 2 free throws one at a time. 60 seconds left in regulation. And that one goes for Nevaeh Graham, her first free throw of the night. And Ilka Negron is back into the game. Took a fall earlier in the contest. It's good to see she's all right. Second free throw is short. Now the Red Raiders trying to swarm, trying to come up with a steal or a foul. Now they finally get the foul on Cudahy with 52.9 to go. It'll be foul number 8 against Fitchburg. This will be the second 1-and-1. So we make our way into the end game here in this Pod 6 semifinal between Fitchburg and Leominster. The winner will play Quavit or Oakmont in the Pod 6 final. She'll be played in a couple of days' time. Red Raiders conceding their 8th foul, as we mentioned. Cudahy can't get that to go. And Nevaeh Graham comes up with the rebound. That's the result that the Red Raiders needed. Now they have to get points on this trip. Bounce pass inside and a tie-up. And Leominster has the arrow. And we'll get a timeout on the floor, 43.5 to go in this game. 36 for the Red Raiders, 41 for the Blue Devils. Fitchburg led 4-3 and 6-5 in this contest, but since Leominster got their second 3 of the night to make it 8-6, they've led all the way since. The deficit has been whittled down to as little as 3 points for the Red Raiders. They opened this fourth quarter with an 8-0 run. Down to 2 points than it would be, if I could do math correctly on the fly. But Leominster has been holding strong. They've been able to stretch their lead back out to 5 points, trying to win against the Red Raiders for the first time this season. In the most important of games, a playoff game between these two sides. Leominster will have the inbound after the tie-up. The Red Raiders will probably be looking for an immediate foul. Or perhaps they'll be able to come up with a steal. They've come up with some tonight. Cudahy will inbound and get a quick one in. Council on her, trying to tie her up in the backcourt. Her and Negron there. And Council called for her third foul in this quarter. As with the end game, she's been everywhere having to make the contact. Now Juliana Pompey back at the free throw line. This is the last 1-and-1 of the night. If she makes both free throws, it might make the lead just a bit too much, but she doesn't make the first, but she got her own rebound. That's the best result Leominster could ask for. They came up with the basketball. Earlier in this contest, the Red Raiders called for a lane violation on a missed free throw, and they were able to put up 2 points on the offensive rebound on the subsequent missed free throw. And now 2 free throws for Nevard. Doesn't get the first. Nevard goes to 1 for 5 at the line tonight. So it's going to stay a 2-possession lead unless we have a miss and another offensive rebound. That's one of the big changes with the COVID this year. That free throw made to get her to 9 is the fact that there's only 2 players on each team on the lane. So that runner there, Wild, doesn't go. Second chance blocked in front. Battling for it, it's a tie-up with 23 seconds left. Red Raiders will retain. They've been looking for a 2 here on these possessions, thinking the 3's a bit too predictable. They've got to find a look there from distance. Nothing's coming easy here. They're going to have that 3 there for Cavins. It's short. Battling for it. It's a loose ball foul. And it's going to go against Fitchburg. With 15.7 seconds left. And it'll be 2 free throws for Kylie Cudahy on the other end. At this point, the Raiders essentially need to get 2 misses out of Cudahy. First free throw hits the back iron. From my count, Cudahy, 4 free throws attempted tonight, missed them all. Here's the second one. Doesn't go either, and another offensive rebound for Leominster. Third time tonight they've come up with an offensive rebound in the second half. First one doesn't go for Nevard. In normal times, the defense would have 4 players at the lane, but only 2. They've been outworked, and Nevard able to get to 10 with that second free throw made. Raiders need a make, and right now, Council will put up the 3, doesn't go, 5 seconds left. One more 3 to try to cut it in, does not go. That brings an end to the game. That brings an end to the season of Fitchburg. The Leominster Blue Devils come away with a 43-36 victory. The first time this season the Red Raiders lose here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse in girls basketball will be the last time they lose this season at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse in girls basketball, as Leominster able to keep a hold of the lead throughout. And even when the Raiders started the fourth quarter with 8 in a row to cut the deficit to 2, they were able to survive. And to think it comes down to a couple of things. One is the Blue Devils finding comfort from beyond the arc. 7 threes made tonight, more than double their season average of 3. And when they ended up with 4 more threes than Fitchburg did, that's 12-point swing. And in a 43-36 game, that's very much the difference. But another thought comes down to just at the charity stripe, even when they had those misses, when they had those chances for offensive rebounds, they came up with 3 significant ones in the second half of play. It's just those little things that added up and accumulated. And ultimately, Fitchburg really shut out in their last few trips down court, not really able to get the baskets they needed to stay in it. And Leominster able to come away with the victory. As we said, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. Fitchburg trying to do so. They could not come up with it. And they fall by a score of 43-36. And so we just do a final adding up of the quarters. 8 in the first for the Red Raiders, 10 in the second, 7 in the third, and 11 in the fourth. 18 in the first half and 18 in the second half adds up to 36 for the red and gray. And for the blue and white, 11 in the first, 17 in the second for 28 in the first, 7 in the third, 8 in the fourth for 15 in the second. The Raiders slightly better in the second half of play, but just couldn't get those shots to fall late when they needed them. And so 43 in all for the Blue Devils. They'll move on to the Pod 6 championship game against Quabbin or Oakmont in a couple days' time. And for the Red Raiders, their first playoff game since 2008, since I was a senior in high school, ends in defeat, but valiantly fought nonetheless. Final scoring leaders, Tenila Council with 12, Olivia Smith with 11, Jen Allen with 2, Mia Cavan's finish is her final game with 2. Nevaeh Graham with 3, and Annika Hecker with 6. And for Leominster, Sabina Marwell with 2, Chloe Tressaloni with 3, Isabella Nevard with 10, Kylie Cudahy with 3, Ava McDonald with 2, Shannon Smith with 3, Kyra Forsberg with 11, and Juliana Pompey with 9. So the Blue Devils get back in the win column, break not just a 3-game losing streak, but break a 3-game losing streak against the Red Raiders as well. Now 6-5 and on to the championship of Pod 6, while the Red Raiders fall to 8-2, but still their most successful season in a very long time. And absolutely do not forget how great this Red Raider team was this season. A marked improvement from the 7-13 the year before, in the seasons before that as well. The Red Raiders fall in the Pod 6 semifinal by a score of 43-36 to finish the season at 8-2. When Leominster again to 6-5, they'll go on to the championship. Want to thank our wonderful crew bringing you this game here, the first half of our doubleheader. Travis Falk and Matt Murdoka on camera, Nate Glennie back in the control room, giving you all the pretty pictures here from the field house. And want to thank our underwriters who help make all our remote productions possible. Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, UMass Memorial Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Research Results, Unitil, Minuteman Press, Hub International, Mart, Fitchburg State University, and the Sentinel and Enterprise. We thank them for all the support to help make these remote productions possible. And so, scheduled start time 7 o'clock between the Red Raiders of Fitchburg and the Leominster Blue Devils in the second half of our doubleheader. It'll be the Pod 6 semifinal on the boys' side. Leominster will try to go 2 for 2 in trying to prove that adage you can't. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. Can the Red Raiders come away with that 3rd win, keep their winning ways going, or will Leominster come to the field house to spoil it all? We'll find out in less than half an hour's time. Until then, we thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Bolak. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you next time, or very much as close as that'll be. Hope you'll join us for the second half of the doubleheader. Until then, so long from Fitchburg.